Today I'm at Caulfields in Hadrian's Wall country in the Northumberland National Park, and it's a freezing cold day. It's -2 according to the car. So if at any point during this video I look particularly chubby, it's not post-Christmas flab, it's the fact that I've got so many layers on. But anyway, I'm going to do some night photography later once it gets dark, and I'm going to be using this. It's the Move Shoot Move Nomad Star Tracker, and during the video I'm going to explain what it is, what it does, and why it's so useful. So stick around. Before I begin, a few points. Move Shoot Move have sent this to me to review. Today's not going to be a review as such, just a more sort of getting to know you session with it. But anyway, any opinion I express over the course of this video and any future video is entirely my own. Secondly, I'm no astrophotographer by any stretch of the imagination. There are people who do it so much better than me. I do dabble, and I'll put a few images on screen now to show you what I've done in the past. And finally, this is the first time I've had to use this Nomad. I've had it for about a month, and essentially since I got it, there's been constant cloud cover. This is the first time really there's been any sort of clear skies. So I haven't had a practice with it yet, so we'll see what happens when I set it up. Any mistakes I make will be no indication of the quality of the instrument. It's going to be all on me, I suspect. But it's going to be fun to use, I think, and I'm looking forward to using it. But before I begin, perhaps an explanation about what a star tracker actually is and why you need one. Because of the Earth's spin, stars rise in the east and set in the west, rotating around either the north or south celestial pole, depending on which hemisphere you're currently in. In the northern hemisphere, there's a relatively bright star, Polaris, or the pole star, in the constellation of Ursa Minor. That's almost, but not quite, on the northern celestial pole. And it's Polaris, or more accurately the northern celestial pole, that star trackers, such as the Nomad, are aligned to. There are two ways to find Polaris. To find the star by eye, first locate the prominent constellation of Ursa Major, or the Plough, or if you're in the US, the Big Dipper. Then use the two stars at the edge of the pan to guide your eyes towards Polaris. The other way, and one which is arguably less fun, is to use an astronomy app with augmented reality to locate the star. Once aligned, star trackers, such as the Nomad, slowly rotate a camera attached to it to match the spin of the Earth. This allows the use of a longer exposure than would typically be possible without a tracker. It's quite straightforward to set the Nomad up. Basically take this red ring off, which reveals this little bit here. This is the bit that screws onto the bottom of the tripod head. You know something, I'm going to take my gloves off. It's going to be colder, but easier to do what I need to do. Yeah, basically you have this metal ring. You need that in between the tripod head and the plate. Make sure the plate is nice and tight, so that spins freely initially. Then that screws on top of the Nomad, and make sure you get that on nice and straight, because if you don't want this misaligned. There we go. I should have done this like Blue Peter and had one prepared earlier. There you go. So that's that attached to the Nomad now. And basically that means that once I've fitted the camera to the head, I can move that about freely. With a basic camera setup, there are essentially two ways to shoot the night sky. Use a very long exposure and capture the movement of the stars as a trail across the heavens, or minimize the shutter speed to capture the stars as points of light. The latter typically requires the use of a fast lens, ideally f2.8 or faster, and increasing the ISO on the camera. The shutter speed you use is determined by the focal length of your lens and the size of the sensor in your camera. Simply put, the wider the lens you use, the longer the shutter speed you can use and still get sharp images of stars. A very easy way to calculate the shutter speed is to use the 500 rule shown on screen now. So, for example, if you use a full frame camera with a 50mm lens, the maximum shutter speed you should use would be 10 seconds. On a micro four thirds camera, such as my OM1, a 50mm lens would force you to use 5 seconds instead. Fortunately, you don't have to work this out in your head, as apps such as PhotoPills have tools to do the calculations for you. It's worth pointing out too that the 500 rule, though useful, is a bit rough and ready, and it's worth being more conservative with your shutter speeds. Star trackers make the 500 rule redundant because you can use much longer shutter speeds and still get sharp results. The laser pointer has a little cap on the end, which you unscrew carefully. And then that screws into this area on the Nomad. And when the laser pointer is turned on, it shines a laser light through that little hole there. And that's what you use to align it with the pole star. Now, some territories don't allow you to use laser pointers outside. And also, you really don't want to be pointing them at aircraft. So what I do is I've got a flight tracking app, which I'll put on screen now. And that allows me to see if there's any aircraft in the area. If there is, I don't turn the laser pointer on. If it's nice and clear, I know it's safe to do so. But, I mean, once you've aligned the Nomad, theoretically, as long as you don't knock the tripod, you shouldn't need to align it again. That said, it's probably worth sort of realigning it every so often just to make sure. And this is what everything should look like once you've got it mounted on a tripod. I am pointing it roughly north. Obviously it's not dark enough yet to see the pole star, but basically when I can see it, all I would do then is just tilt the camera up to point it towards the North Star, possibly even pan it if need be. But essentially that's it. Like I say, I've got the very basic kit, so I'm using the laser pointer. And I am curious to see how that works, I must admit. I'm not sure how or where the point will be in the sky, but we'll see. We'll see as it gets darker. But there's some really nice light happening now. So I think before it gets dark, I might do a few actual landscape photos, because that's looking really nice now on Caulfield's Crag. Some really sort of warm evening light. And there's also a few birds flying around. So if you'll excuse me, I'll go and do that for a while. Go make yourself a cup of tea if you like, and I'll see you once it gets dark. Oh, it actually takes longer to get dark than you'd think. It's still not quite dark enough yet though for me to see the pole star, but I have got everything roughly set up. I'm pointing in the general direction of north, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long to get things set up once I can see the pole star. I've got my camera mounted to the tripod head, which is mounted to the Nomad. Now, one thing I did forget to mention before about the laser pointer is that it's a dangerous instrument, so don't look at it when the beam is on. You know, you'll seriously damage your eyes and you'll very much regret that. So yeah, make sure that you're careful with it when you're turning it on and off. Once you can see the pole star, you then refine your alignment by turning on the laser, adjusting your tripod head until the Nomad is aligned with the star, turn the laser off, and then move the camera using the tripod head attached to the Nomad to shoot the particular star or constellation that you're interested in. When you're ready to start shooting, turn the switch to N if you're in the northern hemisphere, or S if you're in the southern hemisphere. The Nomad will then start to rotate the camera to follow the movement of the Earth. If you do want to do night photography, I'd highly recommend getting a head torch with a red light. And that's because red light doesn't affect your night vision. So if you were to turn the torch off, your eyes would still be accustomed to the ambient lighting. Unlike white light, such as the LED panel that I'm using here to illuminate me and the camera, if I were to turn that off, it would take 20-30 seconds for my eyes to adjust again to the ambient light. And of course that's just time wasted, and when you could be shooting stars. So that's the laser on, as you can see. Now I've discovered that the pan and tilt head that I've got doesn't quite tip far enough upwards to get the North Star aligned. So I've had to splay the legs out on my tripod in quite an awkward fashion. So that's not ideal, so I might have to I'll use a different tripod head next time I do this. So that's one lesson learnt already. But otherwise it's been fairly straightforward to align everything. I found it easier to kind of squat behind the Nomad, looking up at the laser beam, sort of following it up, and then just adjusting the tripod head until it was aligned with the pole star. So I think that's all set up now. So I'm going to take a few test shots, and if any of those work, I'll put them on screen after this. Just a quick comment on this picture. It's the constellation Cassiopeia nestled in the Milky Way. It's a very simple shot, but I'm happy with it. What I'm really happy with is that the stars are pin sharp, despite it being a 60-second exposure. And I don't think that would have been quite as pleasing, particularly as it's quite a tight shot with no foreground elements. Well, I'm going to go home now, go home for a hot cup of tea before hypothermia kicks in. But I've thoroughly enjoyed using the Nomad. I think there are still one or two things I need to refine, but that's on me rather than on the device itself. So I'm going to come out for a bit more practice next time I get a clear night. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do comment below if you've got any questions or any suggestions. Otherwise, I hope to see you on the next video. In the meantime though, please do share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.